Hi, I'm Abby Webster, and this week we've talked a lot about how to decorate for the holidays. And this is Allison Dale. She's a literature major, and she's going to help me decorate my apartment. We're going to talk about different things that you can do for cheap for the holidays and winter season. So first, I'm going to teach you guys, and Allison's going to help me how to make a tree topper out of a toilet paper roll. You can also use a paper towel roll, yeah, and you can cut it and do the same type of thing. Right here I have a paper rose that you can either make it out of like Christmas sheet music, you can make it out of old children's books because the paper is really thin, or I mean just anything really. This I think is made out of, I don't know, probably old newspaper. And here I got these things at Hobby Lobby. These are just cheap flower type things that I originally made into like an arrangement. Hobby Lobby around this time of year has like 50% off, like pretty much store wide. And so that's helpful for, you know, when you're a college student and you want to decorate, but you don't really have the means. Did I just hit you?
No, you didn't.
You don't really have the means to do it. So, first, what you do to make this tree topper is you take a paper towel roll, and normally you paint it first, but since I'm going to teach you guys how to do this, I'm going to paint it last. I'm just going to paint around this stuff, but ideally you want to paint it and let it dry before you glue anything on there. And so what you can do is, Allison, you want to just pick out how to, like,
so do we separate these from the stalk?
Well, you just cut them, you know, any sort of arrangement that you want to do. I mean, you can use red and green flowers. This is wire, so it's kind of hard to cut. And you can kind of bend it too. There we go. So here I just have some silver and gold. You want to use a feather? You can.
Yeah, let's use a feather.
Okay, let's use a feather.
It's burlesque Christmas.
Cool. Okay, so and then you just can make an arrangement. Most people who like want to do a more traditional ornament can do like red and green. You can do like fake flowers from Hobby Lobby that are 50% off right now, like I said. And then you just take a hot glue gun, or you can use super glue. I prefer hot glue. I think it's really easy to use. And then you just kind of glue it all together in a little arrangement. And
you apply the hot glue.
You apply the hot glue to all the different
stalks
areas of the thing, the collection of stuff.
And usually you'll want to let this dry as well before you go applying it again to the toilet paper roll.
Because it'll just work better. And like to have this, like the paint dried on it first, like it's gonna like look a lot better, like I said. But I'm just doing it like this for the video.
And for added security, you can add some festive holiday ribbon.
Yeah. I tied the paper rose with the holiday ribbon. Okay. And so, thank you. Anyway, so then I'm going to glue the paper rose on there. Again, you don't have to use a paper rose. If you want to make a paper rose, though, you can look up how to do it online. I think it's pretty self-explanatory. Well, it's not that difficult. And then if you want to tie that, Allison's just going to tie some pretty sparkly string
ribbon
around it and just kind of a
for added
bow.
Security measure. There, that looks nice.
Yeah. And so, like I said, like you can get paintbrushes and paints pretty much anywhere for really cheap. They don't cost that much. And then you don't have to buy stuff. Like you don't have to buy like stuff like this from the store. You can just sort of find stuff that goes together well around your house. So I'm going to put that there and let it dry. And this is the spot right here. And let it dry. And while we're letting that dry, we can talk about, and this is kind of what the finished product is going to look like. It doesn't look that much different than the one that I just made, but now we'll talk about some other stuff while that's drying. These stockings, like I have one hanging behind me that I just was working on earlier, and I literally all I did was cut out some pictures from old children's books that I found at this place called Thrift Haven. You can get like literally like 10 or 12 books for like $1. And I think for me, with like the holiday season, a lot of it is like about nostalgia anyway, like in being a kid and just, so like I think that like old children's books make really good decorations.
Yeah, the Mole Family's Christmas was one of my childhood favorites as I grew up. Mr. Mole's Christmas story was really inspirational. So I think
really inspirational.
Yeah, I think we should use this one for the stocking.
Okay.
Just
yeah.
because when you have something that's meaningful to you, it makes it.
It's good to decorate with stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So we have some nice Christmas pictures of Mr. Mole.
Okay. So you can pick one, and then all you do, these I got at the dollar store again, and they're each $1. So, I mean, and like, obviously, if you're going to be putting a lot of stuff in a stocking, then you may want to get something that's a little bit better quality, but I mean, I'm not gonna be at my apartment for Christmas, so these are just kind of for decorations. And you can cut out and do whatever you want and glue things on them, or you can sew things on them.
Or embroider.
Yeah. Okay, so while she's working on that, I'm going to talk a little bit about this tree and just decorating for cheap. This, again, is sort of the thing that we made earlier. It's the one that I made before that one. So I'm going to put it on top of the tree. And this Christmas tree is just a synthetic Christmas tree. I got it at a thrift store for like $8. And it came with lights on it. Not all of the lights. I got these old-fashioned like strings of lights from a thrift store. I think they were like 50 cents. And then some of these ornaments I got at a dollar store, and some of them are like ones that I made when I was a kid with like all these just like ridiculous beads and stuff, but I think that they make for kind of interesting decorations. So all in all, I would probably say that like for the whole thing I spent like $10 to $15 around that. Here I just wrapped a present, and instead of buying those little card things that like have presents on them, or that like have like to and from on them, I just like ripped out cool pages and like just addressed them to people that way.
Alright, so as Abby was saying, we once again used those Christmas books that we got at the thrift store and cut out a charming illustration from one of the children's books, along with a Christmas greeting underneath that also went along. We also used some gold vintage buttons and went ahead and glued those on as well, just to give it a little extra glare and pizzazz. I think that'll look very nice on the hearth.
Is that I didn't, hearth?
Isn't there? I don't know.
No, that's a word, I think, but it's just a cool one. That's where you use it. Happy holidays, and don't spend very much money because you probably don't have any if you're watching this.